Arizona, I feel like, has just done everything right this offseason. Where do you guys stand on the James Conner signing?
I don't love it,
I don't hate it.
but I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I more don't
they
hate
have
it.
6
Yeah, I
ex-All-Pros on
don't
that
hate
team
it.
now.
I know. I more don't hate it.
So here's my thing with James Conner is that it's the same problem that they're going to run into is that line still needs to be padded up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that James Conner couldn't get anything on the ground when they didn't have a line with Big Ben throwing the ball when Big Ben was lighting it up last year versus Kyler Murray who still can light it up. I'm not taking anything away from Kyler Murray, but Kyler Murray also...
he only got more.
That's the whole thing is Kyler Murray runs the ball as well, and that's the whole thing. Is like when he's in trouble, he's not going to
and they
pitch
like
out
Chase
to a running
Edmonds
back.
too. They're going to play him.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like it's still a good step in the right direction, but this fact of if they don't pad that line to protect Murray, they're still shooting themselves in the foot. They're doing all this work for nothing.
I think they go all line in the draft.
So I like the move for James Conner. I think it's an okay move from the Cardinals' point. I don't think it hurts them. I think that, historically, there have been so many players that have played with Ben that talk so much shit about him that don't like playing with Ben. I'm sure it's great playing under Tomlin, but don't like playing up with Ben. I think when you go from somebody like Ben, and again, you're in a good situation, you're on the Steelers, and then go to a guy like Kyler Murray, where I agree with you, their line needs to be juiced up, but I think it gives you like a kick in the ass. I think Kyler Murray is a player that a lot of players would like to play with because he's good and because he's a good dude. I think it'll give James Conner a little bit of juice. I don't know if it'll make him good. I have no idea, but I think it'll give him a little bit of juice. It would give me juice, and I think that's important. Like, when you could just get that kick in the ass, that extra start. Like, look at Antonio Brown. He can't play with anyone except Tom Brady.
We don't
Sometimes you just get that guy that kind of kicks you.
I think
feel
Kyle
like
Murray's
it's too
early
early
to say that for
what,
Antonio Brown. I know it's late in his career, so it sounds funny even saying that, but we didn't even get to see him with.
Well, the whole thing would be like
where
I agree with Keith in a sense, but like it just wasn't stated is that Antonio Brown can only mentally play with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't get signed by the Bucks, he doesn't play.
There's one more player I wanted to bring up before we switch it. All right, so you especially can relate to this. So Tom Brady doesn't get James White, but he gets Giovanni Bernard, who does. It's a very similar skill set. Dude, I think that was such a good signing by Tampa Bay. Because Tom Brady loves those, just change of pace swingbacks, and that's what he is.
I think it's stupid.
Why? You're paying him nothing. It's a 1-year deal.
I know. I'm not saying that as far as that aspect goes. It's like I'm just like it's such a waste. It's such a waste. He'll never see the ball. If he does, it's rare. It's just such a waste. He's going there just so that way he can say, I was a Super Bowl champion.
No, they brought him there because Tom Brady wants him there.
It's one of those things, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
So here's my thoughts behind it.
They couldn't get James White. That's why I think they got him.
I think it's an okay signing. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I think you really need to focus that offense running-wise around Rojo. I think he's your best running back. I think he's your best receiving running back. I think he's significantly better than Leonard Fournette. And I think Leonard Fournette needs...
Giovanni Bernard?
No,
he's Ronald Jones.
And I think that Leonard Fournette needs to be your number 2. I wouldn't put Giovanni Bernard as my number 2 because he's too similar to Ronald Jones, and Ronald Jones is just better. What's funny is every single solitary year, I didn't know Giovanni Bernard was in the league anymore. Like, every year, he goes to a team, and I'm like, fuck, Gio's still in the league. Like, I know, but that's my whole thing is...
Thanks, Corey. Obviously.
That's my whole thing is I see him going there and being a change pace guy. Tom Brady will use 5,000 running backs. He doesn't care. He's going to use who he likes. But I think for them to pull anything away from Ronald Jones based on his last year, I think would be...
Stupid.
But last year he showed that he couldn't stand that workload. This is the first time he ever got that workload and he got hurt.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
So I think this is going to be a New England rotational.
So that's where I agree. But the thing with New England, though, is when they had James White was there 100% every single time the ball was passed to running back. It was going to James, and that's all he did.
But that's why I think they signed him.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
But they didn't even use LaShawn McCoy in that way.
Why would you?
But I think Gio Bernard's probably better than LaShawn McCoy.
He's way better than
LaShawn.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying is the fact that like my thing is they didn't use LaShawn McCoy.
They had Shady before they got Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. My whole thing is it really comes down to Tom Brady. If Tom Brady doesn't like you, you're not getting the ball. So if Tom Brady likes you, you're going to be a fantasy stud.
If they don't get Antonio Brown, I think Giovanni Bernard has a big role.
Okay.
Because I think he's going to fill a lot of that void. Him and Scotty Miller are probably going to fill that void.
Mm-hmm. Definitely Scotty Miller.
But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I don't like this. I don't hate the signing. I don't love the signing. It's not really a big deal. It really isn't a big deal.
No.
Yeah.
I just think it's a big deal because Tom Brady likes running backs with that skill set.
If there's a running back that can become James White, great.
And I think it's Chris Thompson or McKissick.
Yeah, my whole thing is with the Patriots at that time when it was like LeGarrette Blount and James White.
That was just a different animal. That worked well.
But after that, they never really had a true running back. They had like Deion Lewis. They had Rex Burkhead. They brought in Sony Michel, who sucked. And then they always had James White, who at the end of the day, I don't think he was ever listed. But James White, I feel like, besides when they had LeGarrette Blount, James White truly was their number one running back.
I agree with you.
But he didn't run the ball. He was their number one running back who didn't